Welcome. I'm going to demonstrate 3 jewellery making techniques simultaneously whilst creating 3 matching pieces of jewellery. I will start with the simplest design, a bracelet, and I'll be working with clear 0.7mm Griffin elastic bead cord. This diameter is suitable for my 8mm glass beads. A standard length for this bracelet uses 21 8mm glass beads, 1 8mm sterling stardust bead and 2 3mm bicone beads. Adjustments to length can be made by adding or decreasing the number of your 8mm druk beads. To begin the bracelet, cut a length of Griffin elastic bead cord 35 cm. The only tools required to work with the beading thread are scissors. Pick up all of your 8mm glass beads. Because of the nature of the thread, I don't require any further tools. The elastic is firm enough to go through your bead holes without any needle. On one side of your thread, pick up a 3mm bicone bead and the 8mm stardust bead. On the opposite thread, pick up your 3mm bicone bead. I will be creating a simple knot to finish the bracelet. The knot will sit inside my stardust bead. To create a knot with Griffin jewellery elastic is simple. Take the 2 ends and hold them together. Take the 2 ends and bring them down and over themselves to create a loop. Take the ends of the thread round the back of the loop and come up through the loop to the front. Guide the knot to sit snug to your beads. Holding both ends, give a firm pull. Cut off your excess thread close to the knot and pull your knot inside your stardust bead. We have now completed our bracelet. The matching necklace is identical in design to the bracelet but uses Griffin jewellery 49 strand 0.46mm nylon coated cable. This is a flexible, strong cable. We will start the design from the centre section. Pick up a 3mm bicone, an 8mm stardust and a 3mm bicone. Either side of your centre section, pick up enough 8mm glass beads until you have reached a desirable length. Bear in mind the catch and end fittings, which will include 2 more 3mm bicones, will add 4 cm to the length of the necklace. The last beads to add should be a 3mm bicone bead, and a 1.8mm round sterling bead. Do the same on the opposite side. These 2 beads add a natural tapering to attach the end fittings to in the next step. The first component that I'm going to pick up in preparation for adding a catch is a calotte crimp. A calotte crimp is visually like 2 halves of a round bead split into 2 halves with a hole in it to thread the cable through, with a strip tail. The strip tail becomes the attaching loop. So after your last bead has been picked up, pick up your calotte crimp. Tie a simple knot in the cable. Use your chain nose pliers to pull the knot tight. Pick up a further 1.8 crimp bead, snug up next to your knot, and again use your chain nose pliers to squeeze the bead crimp firmly. This adds extra security. Bring your calotte crimp up to your knot. Gently start to close the two halves of your culotte. Cut off the excess cable close to the crimp. Squeeze it a little further, your culotte. Take your chain nose pliers and finish off the close so it's completely encasing your knot and the crimp. Using a pair of round nose pliers, clamp gently around the tip of the tail of metal on the culotte and coil the strip around the rounded nose of the pliers. This creates a loop to attach the jump rings and the catch. That's one side complete. Repeat the same process to your opposite side. This side is a little trickier because you have to get your knot quite close in to your culotte. Now you can use a darning needle to work your knot snug up against your beads. We are now ready to affix our catch. I will use a 13.1mm catch, using 2 jump rings to either end of the necklace. Always open the jump rings apart gently by manoeuvring one side towards you and one side away from you. I have now completed my necklace. The final design and technique that I'm going to show you is a matching pair of earrings. Charm pins are a 0.4mm diameter wire which makes bending and shaping the wire easier. Using a charm pin with a short run of beads like the following earring design creates a more secure closure. Pick up onto your charm pin one 8mm glass bead and one 3mm bicone bead. Holding the threaded beads in one hand, use chain nose pliers to grip the charm pin close to the top of the 3mm bicone and gently bend the wire 90 degrees. Place round nose pliers above but touching the 90-degree bend, and with your spare hand wrap the charm pin around the pliers to create a loop. The size of the loop depends where on the pliers you wrap. Hold the loop between chain nose pliers. With your spare hand, take the tail of the charm pin and wrap the charm pin tail over the front of the neck of the wire. Rotate the beadwork 180 degrees, bringing the tail of the charm pin into the previous position. This allows more control over the wrapping. With your spare hand, take the tail and continue to wrap the charm pin over the front of the neck of the wire. Repeat until the charm pin tail is flush up against the top of the bicone bead. Cut off the excess wire and tuck the end in with your chain nose pliers. Using chain nose pliers, hold a French wire upside down and pull the tip of the wire towards you. Just enough to open a gap to hook the loop onto the beadwork. Close in the same but opposite manner. If you would like to download the instructions and get further information about the beads used, click on the links below. Thank you for watching this video.